Welcome back to Hi Guys, it's your boy BDR and I'm back with another AQ video. Now in today's video we'll be going over the top farming classes in AQ. Now you may be asking yourself, like, what's really a farming class? Well, a farming class, at least in my opinion, are classes that are designed to, you know, make the grind easier and more efficient, when you're grinding stuff like, the 51% weapons, Radiant Goddess, all the epic hero badges, etc. You're gonna need some classes that's gonna make the grind easier. And the majority of farming is basically fighting like multiple monsters all at once. Now in today's video, that's basically what a farming class is, in my opinion. A class is basically, fights multi-targets and deals with all those deals with multiple mobs all at once. Now, major disclaimer for this video before I start. I don't have Archmage nor Master of Moglins. I will put that out there. But I will acknowledge that Archmage, I have seen, videos of Archmage and whatnot, and it is, the best farming class in the game. I will admit that. And Master of Moglins, I've seen it in action. And, not a lot of people have Master of Moglins. Because it's like, not a lot of people were paying the $130 price tag to get the class. So even if it did come back today, I still wouldn't buy the $130 for the class. Maybe I would, maybe I wouldn't. Who knows? So yeah, I will be basing these classes off. I'll be showing the battle analyzer. How much they've killed in this a certain amount of time, how much damage and whatnot. Just, basically the visuals. Because I know some of you guys are visual learners. I'm a visual learner myself too. And yeah, let's get started. And we're back. Now, before we get started, I'm going to mention a couple of things. One, when we actually do get started, each class will get 3 minutes, mainly because like Arcana Invoker's world lasts 2 minutes, and to ramp it up takes 1. So let's leave that out there. Now, I will get started with the honorable mentions. First up, we have Eternal Inversionless. While it can target up to 6 targets, and now it did get a recent buff or change, if you want to call it, that all its attacks are now infinite range. Well, it is good. The top classes kind of just are better than that, even though they don't target up to 6 targets. Shaman, while it is, the most ageless class in the game, even with Elysium, it still can struggle. It still can struggle with meta, but it is like a very good option to pick up from mid game, and it could take you all the way to end game because it is used in the Temple Shrine boss for the Eclipse Blade. Flame Dragon Warrior I want to add on there. I did see footage of it. It looks like a very decent class for $10. And lastly, the last honorable mention is Master of Moglins. While, if I did have it, I'll obviously put it up there, but mainly it's just that, there are classes that are just better, and the fact that not everyone, like I'll go as far as say a majority of players do not have the class. So that's why it's in honorable mentions. Now let's get started with our first class, that being Arcana Invoker. Now Arcana Invoker obviously, ramps up. Takes a while to ramp up to the world. Let's speed this up. Here's the setup I'm using. Let's whip out the battle analyzer. And let's go. Oh shit. As you can see right here, it's just taking out bosses like easily. Elysium's bringing back mana. Pumas for caster classes, and Vanglories for extra damage. at the cost of like we lose healing abilities, some healing intake. My bad. Alright, the world is now active. Now we're really see the true damage of Arcana Invoker. Just the damage is crazy right now. Alright, we're already at 100 kills already. As you can see right here, like Arcana Invoker, when it's fully ramped up, is like, wow, one of the best classes in the game. It's just that that's just my main issue. It's just that the class takes a while to ramp up. Never said it was a bad class, but it takes a while to ramp up compared to other classes that don't really need to ramp up like that. Paired up with Elysium for consistent mana. Now you can, opt out for Valiant if you want more damage, but at times, I kind of value consistency more than damage, and Elysium does offer that. So yeah, and obviously if you don't have Forge enhancement, you could just do full Wizard with all Blast and it will get you the job done. Oh, world's about to run out. Almost done, and as you can see right here, I understand it wasn't 3 minutes, but let's just round it out. In a matter of 3 minutes, it did 1.7 million damage, killed 173 mobs, and yeah, you can just see the stats right here. Now, let's move on to the next class. Now we have our next class, which is Archfiend. Here's the setup I'm using, and let's go. Now, Archfiend, you may be wondering, why are you using Health Vamp? Well, one, I don't have Dauntless, at least not yet. And two, not gonna lie, this class struggles with health. So yeah, that's why I'm like running Health Vamp. But obviously, if you have Dauntless, definitely go for it. Overall, Archfiend is like still one of the top farming classes in this game. Wow, 11k nuke. Hook, while it may only be able to target two targets, I mean at least it's long range. It could clear out mobs easily. With this, the farm for it is not that bad. As a heal plus that helps out allies. Overall, it's like Archfiend is definitely a nice choice if you don't have Revenant or Archmage. Still a pretty nice option to have. Get it in late game from Oblivion, and it could do nice, Even though like Nogaf farming might be a stretch to have, it's still a pretty nice farm. Nice farmer to have, and still is touted as, one of the best farming classes in the game. And now that you've been here for like a bit longer, make sure to subscribe, leave a bell. We're close to 200. We're at, as of right now, we're at, as of this recording, I think we're at 181 subscribers. So like, yeah, make it possible, guys. Let's see if we can hit 200 by the end of the year. And yeah, as you can see right here, this class can get caught lacking at times, you know, with the HP and whatnot. Pair stuff with Dauntless. If not, just do Help Vamp. And yeah, that's how much damage in 3 minutes. It did 1.1, and it killed 156 mobs. Right there. Now let's move on to the next class. Alright, for our next class we have Dragon of Time. Here's the setup, and let's go. What the hell is going on with... So yeah, but this, don't get me wrong, Dragon of Time is a very, very good class, but in situations like this, when you're fighting like super hard mobs, you know, you really do have to watch out for your HP. That's why like you kind of want to like wear stuff with like Valiance, or you know, do full healer, or maybe a mix of healer. Yeah, for some situations, but overall, like Dragon of Time be put it in work still. And this class is about to be 4 years old. So yeah, put some respect on its name. It can also help out in various ultras such as Nalgath. Yeah, it's massive DOT damage paired up with Elysium to protect it. You know, to have a consistent mana. Very deal. Now, obviously, there are classes that are better than it, but it's still a pretty nice farming class. And the farm, while it is annoying and time consuming, it is still worth it to get in 2024. Especially if you don't have Revenant or Archmage. But yeah, don't bring Dragon of Time in to super tough situations unless you have like another farmer, because you do have to like prioritize health and whatnot. And Dragon of Time's animations are quite cool. You know, infinite range, it could attack up to 4 targets. And time up. As you can see, in the 3 minutes, it killed 129, dealing almost 1,000,000 damage. Now with Valiance, higher, but you know, Elysium's there for like if you want to preserve mana more, and it is the recommended enhancement for a Dragon of Time. So yeah, let's go back let's go to our next farming class. Now for our next farming class, we have Legion Revenant. Here's the setup I'm using. This is by far probably the best build for Legion Revenant, and let's go. Now at Legion Revenant, now it may not be the best farming class, it is like the best all-rounder in the game. See here, very easy to learn. I mean, the animations may be out of there, but oh man, it is used every every single Ultra Boss except for Ultra Dage. I mean, it can be used in Ultra Dage, but only if you have Dauntless, which not a lot of people have, so that's why I say, 9 out of 10. Or 9 out of half Ultras. But yeah, it can really put out some damage. Like crazy. Nuking right here, paired up with Valiance, boosting up its core stats. It's just a very nuts class in general. The only problem is you do have to like very few classes are better than it. In terms of farming, I mean Archmage. Yeah, Archmage is better than it. But I personally like Legion Revenant more, even if I did have Archmage. Easy to learn, doesn't have like 2 different modes. Overall, Legion Revenant is very fun to use. And it increases the value of your account by like 1,000-fold. And all these farming classes in this video increase your account, but like Legion Revenant, flat out like best all-rounder class in the game. It could do nearly everything. Solo, farm, gives out good support in its 4th skill. It's not the best farmer anymore. As you can see, the damage is going wild. Wild like crazy. Oh, damn. See how fast these mobs are clearing? Time. Who's attacking me? Weirdos. So yeah, in under 3 minutes, it did 1.5, and it killed 171 monsters. Overall, like Legion Revenant is like at worst, it's the 3rd best farmer. I know people will probably argue that like Arcana is better, but me personally, between the two, even with like Valiant equipped, I'll still put it on Legion Revenant. And yeah, let's move on to the next farming class. Alright, next up we have Necrotic Chronomancer, or Necronomancer. Here's a setup, help vent, because this class does deal DLTs to itself, and I don't have Dauntless. So yeah, let's go. Let's go. Now I am, obviously the best classes, majority of them are like, pay to win, whatnot. Now when it got buffed, it became, one of the best farming classes in the game. Nowadays, it's still a very top tier option to really use, and it's probably the best option for like your first chrono if you don't have like Revenant or Archmage or Dragon of Time or whatnot. You know, it is worth the 6 KACs. Right here, animations look fire. I bought this class way back in 2021 because I was lacking in Revenant or Dragon of Time. Well, mainly I just didn't care about Dragon of Time back then in 2021. The only reason I cared about Dragon of Time was because, I needed it for Valiant. But, I'm getting off topic here. Anyway, Chronomancer is still a nice top tier option in 2024, being able to clear out mobs easily. Oh my, lag. Lag going crazy. But I'm not gonna let that ruin my mojo. Here, the nuke goes crazy. I really do like this class animations. But yeah, this is what farming classes are all about, guys. Multiple mobs at once. I still don't understand when people be like, oh, Void High Lord is a farming. No, a farming class is when you're attacking multiple targets at once. That's a farming class. Void High Lord is a soloing class. I don't know what y'all are on saying that. I never understood it. Still to this day, I never. When people be like, Void High Lord's a. No, it is not. And yeah, that's kind of been Necrotic Chronomancer right there. If you have Dauntless, then use it. I just have Health Vamp because this class does struggle with health sustain due to its self DOT. You know what? Let me show you. Let me show you guys. Eternal Inversionless. Right quick as well. See how well Inversionless does. Here's the setup I'm using. And yeah, this is kind of like a bonus one because, I don't have Archmage, so I might as well, get the 6 class quota in here, and let's go. Yep, paired up with Health Vamp, this class can go crazy. The bad thing is you gotta, have good ping, otherwise you're just gonna be, crashing out. I do love its animations though. Damage is going smoothly. It clear out mobs very well. One of the few classes that could target up to 6 targets. Alright, it's doing a good job. Oh, never mind. Womp womp. So yeah, that's kind of Eternal Versionless. Very good class, but at times, doesn't have the best survivability when it comes to like hard mobs, but still a good class. Excuse me. And yeah, guys, that's kind of been the top farming classes in AQ Worlds. You know, Yeah, that's what farming classes are all about, you know, targeting multiple targets at once. Do not let people tell you that Void Highlord is a farming class. And obviously with the top farming classes, I'm gonna have a video with like the top supporting classes and the top soloing classes, of course, in the future. So yeah, that's been it. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell, and yeah, hi guys, out.